Okay there, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome along to the US Grand Prix here at the Circuit of the Americas in Texas. And we are here today in what is round number 14 of the 16 round season. So, as you will very much would have been able to do the maths, there is 3 races to go, including the one right now. So, we have, as you may also be able to tell by the garage signs, Mr. Angelo is not in commentary this time. He is in a car, so he's going to be driving around this evening. Obviously, there's a certain Eurovision on right now, so that means that a few of the drivers have chosen that over the race this evening. So that means, unfortunately, for us it's only 8 drivers. Well, it should be 9 during qualifying, hopefully. But yeah, not as many drivers here this evening as the first of the drivers are coming out on track. And yeah, we have obviously, as mentioned before, 3 races to go, and in the championship it is just 5 points the difference between Tom Gorian, who is leading, and Vapid Kut in second position. So it is all to play for in that championship battle. So that is what our focus will be on this evening. Who can get the better of the other? And I am also joined in the commentary box this evening by Omar. Hello there.
Thank you for having me, Kyle. I look forward to another thrilling championship battle in Texas.
Yep, indeed, it should be a good show, despite the lower numbers this time around. But we can cope, and the show does go on. So, we have the first of the drivers about to start their flying lap. So we will indeed go on board with Lord James 22, who is actually still mathematically in with a chance of the title, but he has to have realistically a race win here tonight and hope that Vapid and Tom aren't also on the podium. But heading through the first sector, the fast corners, these corners similarities with Silverstone. Obviously the Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel section, heading through, obviously purple as it's the first driver through the sector, and not bad through that section there from the Haas driver. It should be a decent banker lap here, and now it is down the back straight with that DRS opening as well, and now it is time to think about where that braking zone is going to be for the tight left hand corner. And now down stays up to 4th gear actually, so taking a higher gear than I would have expected, but now in 3rd gear here as we now enter the mirror of the Istanbul turn 8 sequence. And now just 2 more corners to go, stay within the track limits on the penultimate corner, and now round the final corner, taking plenty of entrance curb and exit as well, and across the line, and it's a 1 minute 32.3.
A 132, holy! He is cooking.
Yep, Kozlesko and about 9/10 or so behind in the McLaren, vying, as Deaton spins out of the final corner, That is not ideal there from the other McLaren driver. Also
He
vying
had a
along
brilliant race
with,
last race as well, Deton.
yeah,
Yeah, he had
P2
a fantastic
in,
performance.
yeah, P2 in Singapore. And yeah, they currently now have the lead in the Constructors' Championship. After being in the joint lead the previous 2 rounds, they now.
I believe Vapor started a lap as well.
Yep, he is on one. Fisichella also starting a lap. But yep, Vapid second in the championship, as we know. So, an important lap here. And was it just me, or did the rain just start to fall there? Or am I seeing things?
I think I see a little drops here and there, yeah.
So that could be worrying for the likes of the 2 Ferraris who are still in the pits at the moment. But yeah, McLaren leading the
What is
constructors.
this line that Vapor is taking? Almost half the car is literally on the right hand side, behind the white line.
Yeah, I mean, trying to gain just advantages, I guess, but I don't know. Yeah,
Only
interesting one
Sweats know
that.
about those lines.
And approaching the final 2 corners of the lap now is the Mercedes driver. And yeah, as I was saying, the Constructors' Championship very close still behind. I think there's still 4 teams in with a shout of winning that as Vapid goes into P2. About, what is it, half a second back? A little bit more, so still some time to find there. And Physical going P4, a 35 flat there. I believe who has just come back from a trip to Greece to watch his team in the Europa Conference or Europa League that
The 7th place.
Anyway, Tom is on his lap as he heads down the hill, and I think it is raining, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So potentially a little bit of a mistake or just a personal choice from the 2 Ferraris. I don't know on that one. But Tom, with that DRS still open, if we go on board with them, we don't see rain on the car. So I don't know, but yeah.
We're seeing drips here and there, but it's not like fully.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if it gets heavier or not. But yeah, I don't know about you, but where I am, last night at around about midnight, the skies were absolutely beautiful with the northern lights, also known as Aurora Borealis. I don't know
Yes,
if you
I did see
saw
them. I did see them. It was beautiful. Beautiful
Yeah,
sceneries.
I got some pretty good photos of it as Tom Gorian. Slightly slower than Kozlowski at the moment. About, what's that? 500-600 off third place. And is Deton just starting a lap? Oh, he's just completed a lap actually, and he has gone up to P5 there with that 34.5. So
Problem with the battery is that once they've done a hot lap, there's hardly any battery left. And depending on the tracks as well, not all tracks are guaranteed to generate the battery throughout the lap as well. So let's just say the rain is dropping as well. Like, it is so annoying to make the choice of coming in, going in and out quickly, or hope you've got enough battery to improve your lap time. It's a difficult one to choose.
Yeah, we know. Well, also it takes a long time really to go in the pits.
It does, yeah.
Obviously, yeah, no option to just do a wee pit stop or anything. But I think Kezlesko is about to start a flying lap and opens the DRS. And is that Tom going for another lap, maybe? I think it is, as that is Vapid coming out of the pits. 8 minutes to go in this session. Currently, it is Lord James sitting on pole position. And I think there was some crazy stats that I found out the other week about Lord James and pole positions. I'll just bring it up so I don't get it wrong, but it was something crazy in the first half of the season. Let me try and find it.
Tom went really wide there. I don't know if that lap's gonna still count. All four wheels were off the track.
Also pushing hard is Tom. Oh, okay, I've looked in the wrong place there.
And his battery's gone.
Yeah, obviously with the smaller grid this time around, it's not as disastrous to have a bad qualifying. But still, it is important to be at the front. Don't want to be getting caught up in any sort of instance at the start. So yeah, the first. Okay, so the stat is the first 8 rounds. Lord James was on pole position for 7 of them. And since then has also got another 2, so 9 in total pole positions this season for Lord James, and he may be able to make that 10 here this evening.
Be in the championship conversation.
Yeah, I mean, he's also had a few unlucky DNFs here and there, so without those, he would very much still be in the running.
Or even in the clear.
Could have been, yeah. He obviously was leading at some stages the first half of the season. But yeah, I think Kezlesko improve on his lap time. I think he's improved to a 33 flat. I think he was on a 33.2 before, if I'm not mistaken. So we've got
Vapid is out again.
Yeah. Oh, he's just invalidated though. He's invalidated heading down the hill, so that is not ideal for the Mercedes driver. Lord James also on a lap vying to improve on his time to secure that pole position that he will be wanting. Yeah, that's a nice camera angle, that, when sort of looking up the sort of crest there, and then the tower in the background as well. So quite a nice shot there. And it is DRS open for the Haas driver.
Is it me, Color, or are you seeing a lot of corner cuts?
I mean, I've not been as eagle-eyed as I could have been on this lap. Yeah, using the full track certainly. Heading
James out
towards
again.
the penultimate corner. And now, round the final corner goes the Haas driver. Can he improve on his time?
He does
indeed. A 32 flat now.
Almost
so
a whole second ahead.
Yeah, Vapid now needs 9/10 to find Fisichella. He is on to improve on his lap time as he rounds the final corner. Can he do so? He does improve exactly the same time as TRC Dayton. That is incredible.
That is incredible. No,
only
often you come
six
across
drivers. Only 6 drivers set a time, and 2 of them have set the exact same time. That is incredible.
That is incredible.
The Ferrari of SoFresh on and out lap. Angelo still in the pits. So is he doing a Sebastian Vettel, or is he just not partaking in the qualifying session?
I need Angelo up there in the mix between Vapid, Kozlowski, and Tom. Ideally. Imagine if you could just, spice up the drama, the intensity that's already happening with this championship.
Yeah, I mean he does, of course, have the pace to do that.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe
absolutely.
maybe he's wanting to start from the back. I don't know, but yeah, we'll see how he
Maybe.
fares this evening.
I told him before he started this race to have a solid performance. Put Tom's and Vap's doubts on you as a driver out of the window. You know, 'cause they'd be having those sort of banters where they'd be like, "Oh, Angela, you don't even, league race no more like that. Like, you don't have the right to talk."
Oh,
Do you know
that
what I
is
mean? Like,
very
so
very wide into turn one there from So Fresh. But
have the fries decided to come out?
well, So Fresh has just started a lap, but he's invalidated it now. Angelo does indeed.
Tom is right behind him.
Yeah, I mean, um, it's just going to be one lap for both the Ferraris here in qualifying.
Yep, Tom is lining up for that last lap as well.
Yeah, I think except from Lord James and Fizzy Kelleher both in the pits. Well, Lord James is just coming out. Has he got enough time? Potentially, just if he pushes it.
Are they allowed to cut corners?
They are not. No.
Okay.
So yep, Kozlowski has begun his final lap time, and he will be the first to cross the line as the checkered flag comes out. Vapid also starting on his lap as well in the Mercedes. But we look to Kozlowski as he will be the first one to take the checkered flag. And he is... How is he getting on this lap? I don't really know at this stage. I didn't actually look after the first sector. But he's got that DRS open down the back straight. And into the slowest section of the circuit. Down into second gear for the McLaren. So 2 gears difference through that right-hander than from what Lord James was doing. Let's quickly have a look to see if Lord James does indeed get there in time. He has with about 5 seconds to spare, so he will be last to cross the line. As Kozlowski rounds the final corner, he is first to take the checkered flag, goes up to P2, 32.7 for him. Vapid Coot will be next to cross the line. Rounds the penultimate corner, stays just about in those track limits, and round the final corner he goes, and across the line, back up to P2, only 6 thousandths ahead, so very close there for P2. Now it is going to be So Fresh to cross the line next.
Because let's go trying to do an upset.
I mean, yeah, he's qualified third, well, third at best at the moment. So Fresh into 7th position. Angelo up to P5 on his lap. Tom Gorian rounds the final corner as well. He stays P4, does improve on his time. Tier C Deton has invalidated, so with only Lord James to cross the line now, there are your qualifying results.
Not the best qualifying session for D-Tom, but we know that this guy can do miracles.
Yep, he played the strategy very well in Singapore.
Yeah, he
There
did.
was, of course, that late safety car. Well, there's 2 late safety cars actually. And So, as we watch Lord James go into the pits, probably would have been quicker just to take the checkered flag there, but anyway, it is pole position for the Haas driver. And yeah, it was this at exact same time for P6 and 7. So those two only separated by the fact that Dayton did his before Fisichella.
Yeah.
So there we go. There are the qualifying results once again. It is Lord James with Vapid Coot alongside on the front row. Then it's Kozlesko with Tom Gorian directly behind his championship rival in P4. Angelo is in P5 alongside Tier C Deton with Fisichella and SoFresh on row 4.
I think the midfield battle is going to be very tasty in this race.
Yep, it should indeed be very close indeed. We've got sort of clusters of drivers very close to each other, so hopefully that is a sign of things to come.
This is one of those tracks where turn 1 can sort of play a huge part in how this race is going to go.
Yeah, obviously there's that massive sort of hill up to the braking zone of turn 1, and then
Definitely.
apparently you're in a Red Bull.
I am. I just realised. What do I need to do?
I think do the first lap and then retire in the pits. I had actually
Okay.
the same situation when I was doing a stream for International Paddock in a Formula 2 league. I sort of missed the one-shot qualifying and then was able to get in on lap 1 of the sprint race. But that meant I was then given the car for the feature race, and then I had to, as I was,
So
I was
I'll have to
also
complete
by,
the first lap of the race.
yeah, I was
and then
also
retire
by
in the
myself,
pits.
so when everyone's leaving the session, so that's not a good sign.
Deton has left. He's retired.
Probably a lobby reset at this point, I think. Yeah. So yeah, we've got a little bit longer
Merging
now, but
host.
yeah, I had to like try and commentate whilst driving as well. So I mean, at least you'll be able to select the spectator. Okie dokie. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a restart. So we shall head back through the loading screens.
Definitely.
Apparently somebody readied up too early, so that was what happened there.
Oh.
So, well, at least you can now choose spectator. That is the
Yes.
silver lining of this whole shenanigans.
So when we sort of restart the lobby, do they sort of go back into their like starting grid based on the qualifying?
Yes, yes. So the grid will also be the same.
Perfect.
With the sort of the custom grid feature. So as long as the results have been, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word, but anyway, you get what I'm trying to say. Yeah. I don't know if there was going to be rain or not scheduled in that race, but I guess now there won't be because it was a dry start. And I don't know if we'll be waiting for. I don't know if another driver will be waiting to join or not. If they are, we may potentially. I don't know if they're here or not, but anyway. There was a driver that said they joined during qualifying, but evidently hasn't. So anyway, we'll mull over that one, and yeah, I think. Well, first of all, do you have any predictions, and what sort of strategies do you think we'll see come into play? Well, do I have predictions myself? I don't know. Do I want to predict this? I'm gonna say Angelo wins. We'll let us put a cheeky Angelo victory on the predictions from me. Yeah, would be a pretty good cameo, to say the least, if that were to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of strategies, I think there's going to be a fairly even split between mediums and hards. I think on the start at least. Maybe we might see one or two go for softs. I don't know, but I'd suspect it might be sort of 50-50 between mediums and hards. But yeah, obviously safety cars would sort of change.
I think safety car is going to be less likely due to how small the pack is.
Yeah, there's obviously less drivers mean obviously less chance of a safety car, so probably less of a chance that someone might take a soft tyre gamble.
Yeah, I agree.
Obviously could gamble. Well, is that a gamble? I don't know. But could start on softs, and then if a safety car comes out, pit onto another tyre. But it does look like we are heading to the start. And so it is take two. And alrighty. So as we load in, I think it's going to be a dry race, I think. So
I thought it was predicted to rain in the first lobby.
Oh, was it? Okay.
I think so. I've had Tom saying 90% rain or something.
Oh. I don't know if that will have been factored in then.
I'm not sure. Personally, I would want a dry race. Dry race is just much more. It's a much better way of determining a driver's outcome and performance, in my opinion.
I mean, obviously, rain does sort of spice things.
It does, yeah.
But
it does, yeah.
It sort of slows things down in a way and makes it a bit more difficult to pass. So yeah.
Definitely.
I would say a dry race would bring slightly more entertainment in terms of side-by-side action. but
Definitely,
a
definitely.
wet race has, well, maybe a little bit of more unpredictability. I don't know.
What I can see from qualifying so far is that obviously Vapid's qualified ahead of Tom, but there's also a driver in between them,
There is indeed, yeah.
and we know that if Lord James has a clear start, he's likely going to not only keep the spot, but sort of run away with it in a way.
I mean, yeah, he has shown that he does have very good pace. Obviously,
Yeah,
now with 10 pole positions this season, that obviously shows he has very good raw pace, but it's with also, I can't remember how many exactly off the top of my head, but there's been a few DNFs along the way as well, unfortunately, which has sort of hindered his possibilities of winning the championship. I can have a look now. So that's 4 DNFs this season. So without those, it would have been looking a lot better for him.
I agree, but I think he does seem to have shown that he has matured from those awkward situations, especially how he handled Singapore last time he was racing.
Yeah, definitely, and yeah, also with less to lose now, he can also sort of
Express himself in a
yeah,
lot better way. Yeah, definitely.
show what he can do as well. So as we
Okay, and
now
it
head
looks like we're
to
going
the
for the formation lap.
formation, yep, and on we go.
Just to see a Haas on pole in Formula One,
Yeah,
it's quite hilarious.
yep, certainly is. Yeah, just it's a little bit unfortunate. Well, it is unfortunate that the grid's a little bit more empty this time, but
It is, yeah, because this track is such a good track
yeah, hopefully we
for
do.
racing.
Yeah, hopefully we do get an enthralling race from the 8 who are starting. Oh, that's a wee spin
I
through
can
the
see this
P1.
race being a two-stopper.
Could be, it could be. I mean, um, it is a track which has uh sometimes been quite a tire. Also, there's a lot of fast corners, so yeah,
Yeah,
I think it could be not far off the
I
truth
could
there.
see
Yeah.
some people maybe like taking a bunch of VSCs, getting a cheap pit stops.
Mm. Yeah, definitely. I
So
think
yeah,
if we do see a safe car, I think we will be seeing pit stops along with them.
definitely.
Uh, the possible race
So
strategies, though, seeing one.
which driver do we say is the lookout for this race?
Um,
Oh, the obvious ones, of course.
yeah, I mean, we've got, well, Vapid and Tom, they're the championship contenders,
Yeah,
so yeah, I think Lord James has got the raw pace, and I think as well Angelo's got that little bit of unpredictability in the fact that this is his first race this season, and everyone has chosen the mediums to start, so that is very interesting.
yeah. We need some drivers with more creativity because I'm sick and tired of seeing the medium tires starting.
Let's try and get the best camera possible here. Okay, we'll go with that. I think just about every driver's in shot here.
Yeah.
Apart from one, unfortunately, but It is lights out and away we go. Apologies, I couldn't really see the lights there, but away they go. And it is side by side into turn 1 for the lead, is it? And Tom has already got past his Let's Go as well. So that's very good for him.
stuff.
Vapid trying to go around the outside of Lord James, and he makes it stick as well.
He
Vapid
does.
taking the lead of this US Grand Prix. But he will now have that job of trying to keep the drivers behind him. And was that Angelo there going for a move on TRC Deton? It indeed is. Angelo back to his starting position. I believe he's starting 5th.
Yes.
But Vapid's now going to come under some pressure here. He's going to go defensive, is the Mercedes driver. And Lord James trying to go around the outside there. Has he made it stick? Maybe not quite yet, but he's staying up the inside into the next
Tom is
corner.
eyeing out.
Yeah, Tom very much looking to pounce, but he's trying to go up the inside of Lord James into the next left-hand corner. But it's not quite come off for him there, as I need to charge my controller. But
So Tom is basically, the tactic he's doing is very smart. He is looking at Lord James and Vapid and seeing if there's an opening that he could just take advantage of.
Yep, yeah,
See,
Vapid's coming under pressure now. And it's
just
now
look
side by
at
side.
Lord James. He is making it look easy.
Was Tom going to try and follow? Not quite.
He is,
Maybe
sort
could
of.
get a better exit, trying to. But Vapid's trying to try and hold the position. But Lord James takes the lead back. Oh, that's a crash. TRC Deton's in
There's
the
a
wall,
crash.
and he is out the race. And is that safety car? It's a virtual least. That's unfortunate for McLaren there. Could
We didn't
be
get to see the
crucial.
incident that.
Yeah, could be crucial in the constructors as well. Obviously, as an ambulance goes past my house. I mean, flat, but anyway.
They must be rushing to get Deton.
Well, it now means that the top 4 in the Constructors' Championship all now just have one driver, and they all happen to be in the top 4 in this race, not in the same order though. But the Constructors' battle heating up here, as it is still a virtual safety car, so no physical safety car.
It's too early for a cheap pit stop as well.
Yeah, probably on these tyres too early. Would have to go to a 2-stop if a driver was to pit now, but it's back on to green flag racing. There's side-by-side action behind. There's a big gap between 4th and 5th, so not too sure what's
Angelo's lost
happened there.
quite a lot of position.
Yeah. Was it
So I
Angelo
think him
who-
and Deton that might have sort of collided then.
Yeah, I was going to ask, was it Angelo who made contact there? I did sort of see the crash happen in the background, but I didn't see it
Yeah,
with that
I
much
saw it in the
detail.
background as well.
As Fisichella retains P5, as we now have a lovely wee helicopter shot here of the top 4, all in shot. And Deton unfortunately having to leave the session. Obviously an unfortunate retirement there, but hopefully he can come back stronger next week when we head to Las Vegas for the penultimate round of this season 11 championship. Now Tom Gorian
Tom
is making a move on Vapid, as a terrible camera angle comes up there, but Tom Gorian takes P2 and is now within that DRS of the lead of the race now. As we look back from on board with the Haas, and yeah, lap 3, and it is now Lord James ahead of Tom Gorian, who has got himself ahead of Vapid Coot. If if the race were to end now, Tom and Vapid. Oh no, sorry, what am I saying? That is not correct what I was about to say. Well, what would be correct is Tom would have a 10-point gap ahead of Vapid as Angelo pits. Now let's see, does he have any sort of... Yeah, he's got a front wing change.
Yeah, so it must have been him and Dayton.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate.
Indeed it is, but as that must have been a warning there from Lord James there. But anyway, it's... what was I about to say? Anyway, well, I think
Where is Vapid? I don't see him in the show anymore.
oh, he's out of DRS.
Yeah, which is not ideal.
Yeah. As Tom, with that DRS open, is he close enough though to make a move? Not on this occasion.
This is really good for Tom.
It is, yeah. He's escaped the DRS window of Vapid, which Tom will be loving the scenes right now. But what he would also love is to be leading the race and ahead of Lord James. Well, that is not going to be an easy task, I don't think.
I agree. Strategically, I would want to stay behind a little bit longer behind Lord James. Since Vapid is not getting any DRS service, enjoy that DRS serve. Create sort of a 5 to 7 second gap between yourself and Vapid if possible. Then go for the overtake.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an easy one because staying behind could mean that Vapid gets back in the DRS range, and that's obviously not what Tom's going to want. But at the same time, staying behind, Tom could save the ERS as well.
Yeah, exactly. And just use a DRS deployment of Lord James.
Yeah, and there is going to be some DRS down the back straight once more for Tom.
Yep. It's further back, so which means he's not going to go for an overtake. It's definitely something to benefit from for now.
Yeah, he's in a decent position, so I think just sort of settle into the Grand Prix, and then maybe come the second stint, then make the moves.
Definitely.
So we go on board with Tom once more. Still very much in that DRS zone, creating a little bit of a gap. A bit more than on the lap previous.
Definitely. So the previous lap gap was 1.67. Now it's 2.6. So that DRS service is sort of helping him a lot.
Yeah, and also Kozlesko has just entered that DRS range of Vapid, so Vapid might have to look behind him rather than ahead, potentially.
Definitely.
So Tom still with that DRS, but yeah, he's probably a bit too far back. Lord James trying to escape that DRS range if he possibly can. Yeah, Kozlesko not quite within range either. In terms of passing. But yeah, on lap 6 we are now on, so not quite a quarter of the way through the race. I had a bit of a dumb moment there, but anyway.
No worries.
Because let's go closing that gap still
He
to
is,
Vapid.
yeah. I'm watching them now.
Yeah, had a little bit of a look as So Fresh also pits and speeds into the pit lane as well, and DNFs from the race. Okay. Didn't think it was worth running. So now we have just 6 left. Oh, that's a bit of a wobble there from Vapid as Fizikella gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings.
I'm very confused as to what Vapid is trying to achieve here.
Maybe he's just not got the pace.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, has Angel had a moment there? Oh no, that's So Fresh as AI car coming back out, never mind. But Kozlesko though, side by side he goes with Vapid.
Vapid hasn't even bothered fighting for it.
Yeah, something that has come to mind. Vapid obviously, well, because he'd have created the weather, if he has or not, so he'll definitely know what the weather's gonna do. So if, hypothetically, he has put the setting to rain later, will he have then put on a wet setting? That's the only thing that comes to mind as to
That's interesting. I thought they would let the weather be on dynamic.
Yeah,
and let the game decide as to.
If the weather's one way in like before a restart, it has to be similar or the same on a restart. Because
Okay, gotcha.
It might become completely different, so it needs to be set to similar weather.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So maybe it's a full dry race and I'm just waffling here, but that's...
We never know. Well, I guess we'll find out, see.
Yeah. It's the only thing I can really think of as to why Vapid doesn't really
So
have the
what would
pace.
the gap be now if Tom finishes second and Vapid finishes fourth?
That is a good question. It'll be an 8 points difference, that'll go to 13 points.
13 with how many rounds left?
There's 2 races after tonight's race, but Vapid has got that DRS and he's
coming back.
Gone side by side and he's made the move stick as well, has he?
Surprisingly, no one's willing to defend the inside.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it a little bit on the sort of opening lap or two with when I think it was Vapid was leading. But apart from that, yeah. Not much defence has really... Well, there's obviously been a bit of defence, but not any aggressive or just hard defensive manoeuvres, really. At this stage in the race, anyway. Maybe that'll change later on, but yeah.
Yeah. That was me about to get overtaken. I'm going down the inside. I'm covering my inside.
Yeah. Fizikella comes into the pits for Red Bull, and he goes on to another set of mediums. So, doing the same as what Angie...
Tom's having a lonely race.
So are those two going to head on to softs later on in the race, potentially? Because they've both gone medium to medium. So they both need to stop again. So
yeah,
could well be a strategy that we see. I think the top 4, I think they'll all be on the same strategy, so yeah, probably a medium to hard. Is Kozlesko going to be closer? You can see the gap between Tom and Vapid is extending. Meanwhile, sorry.
So has Lord James, really. He's got similar gap between them as well.
Yeah, I was going to say Lord James building that 3-second lead as well at this stage in the Grand Prix. And yeah, because
if hypothetically Lord James wins the next 2 races as well, would that mean he still needs Both Vapid and Thompson are finished on the podium.
I think, yeah, in the next race, he would need both of them to not have a good race.
Okay.
I think if he wins this race, then he's still mathematically in it, I believe. If he wins, so there's still some hope, albeit
Yeah,
sort of small
definitely.
hope, but you never know, anything can happen. So
That is true.
yeah, you can't give up until it's mathematically over.
And Kislesko's gonna bite again.
Yeah, he was 7/10 back, so is he going to be able to close it? I mean, he is closing it quite drastically, but not drastically enough to go for the move. Physical has caught up to Angelo though as well for P5. So we'll have a bit of a look at that. Obviously, these two having made their first pit stops already, as they go now side by side. Physical making the move well before the braking zone. And up to P5 goes the Red Bull driver.
This is not what Ravapid had in mind.
Yeah.
Especially the fact that he qualified P2.
Yeah. As we go on to lap 11 now. Yeah, Vapid still very much under pressure from Kislesko here. Fisichella setting the fastest lap. So he very much has the pace at the moment.
Yep.
And it is going to be Kislesko with that DRS once again. Sort of in a similar position to last lap. He has a bit of a look, but again, it is not quite enough to go for that move.
Yeah.
And it is indeed as you were once again. And we'll go on board with Kislesko for a little bit. And yeah, just have a look at the racing lines. And now DRS open once again for the McLaren driver. And yeah, still not quite close enough to make a move, but definitely still keeping Vapid thinking. And yeah, we're heading to that stage now where we're just about at that point where it is the pit window for the top four in the next few laps or so. Kislesko is a little bit closer this time around, so we'll see if that is indeed the difference. Closer and closer he gets. We get a terrible camera angle, and it is now side by side into the left hand corner. Kislesko gets back up to the podium for now. And Vapid very much staying in that slipstream. Will he potentially make a move into the first corner, or is he going to wait for the back straight? DRS wide open there on that Mercedes. Not close enough this time around to make a move. He has, by the looks of it, had a decent exit though, out the first corner. And yeah, we see how is he going to fare with next time getting the DRS. And ever so much closing into the braking zone. That DRS is going to open, and now it is going to be side by side. Kozesco does make a bit of a defensive manoeuvre, but Vapid Coot retakes P3 for the moment. And is he going to be able to escape this DRS? As he has a bit of a moment there. And yeah, Tom still 3.5 seconds up the road from Vapid, as Lord James now has just about a 5-second lead as we start on to lap number 14. Oh, and Vapid Coot into the pits now. And he goes. Is he going to come out in 4th position, or is he going to lose out to Fisichella or even Angelo as well? No, it does look like he's going to come out in P4 just about, I think. Yeah, just about retains P4, but is the first to go onto the hard tyre. And we're almost at the halfway point of the Grand Prix.
Now it's that time. I believe we'll start seeing the pit window.
Yeah, it is now a question of who's going to respond on this lap. Well, will we see... Are we going to see all 3 come in, or are we only going to have... well, we're not going to see Lord James into the pits this time around. And we are going to see Tom into the pits now. And I think that is Kozesco indeed following him in as well. So, let's have a look at these pit stops. On to the hard tyre for the both of them. And let's see. Oh, Vapid gets out ahead of Kozesco. And he's closed a little. He's closed the gap by about, I'd say, a second to Tom. So the undercut's worked a little bit. Obviously, come the end of the race, his tyres are going to be that little bit worse off. And yeah, the question is now, is Vapid going to be able to close the gap that he's got ahead of him? So it's around about 2 seconds now. So yeah, obviously if he can close another second, then that'll be the DRS activated.
Definitely.
Yeah, but Tom is obviously not going to make that easy, as Lord James into the pits nicely. And I would very much suspect that he's going to also go on to some hard tyres, and indeed he is doing so. should remain in the lead of the race. But what is that gap going to be, as Vapid is now the new fastest lap driver so far in this race? Well, Tom's close up about a second as well. So the undercut worth about a second from the evidence of this pit stop window. And yeah, Vapid has, as we can see, he has escaped that DRS from Kozlesko. And yeah, now it's sort of drivers a little bit on their own with sort of other drivers in sight. So hopefully for us we can see the drivers closing together a little bit. To be fair, Vapid is making inroads into that gap that he's got to Tom. I don't know if it's just the medium and the hard tyre difference. Maybe Vapid preferring the hard. I don't know if that's the case or not, but he certainly seems to be working with that compound of tyre a lot better than in the first stint. So yeah, 1.5 seconds now is a gap between second and third position. And now it is going to be on to the back straight for the 17th time in this race. Not yet in the DRS range, but it certainly does look like Vapid has the pace at the moment, but whether that can be sustained, we shall find out. We go now on board with the car of Vapid 74. We can visibly see that gap starting to close more and more. And now it's 1.2 seconds, so almost now in that DRS range. And heading through the left and right handers. Can Vapid get within that DRS range? It's going to be quite close here. Not quite on this occasion, but we could very well see it in the next few laps. Starting to get a bit of a slipstream as well is Vapid, so he will want to use that to his advantage. Meanwhile, Lord James has got a 5.7 second advantage for the lead of the race, ahead of Tom, who is now starting to come under some severe pressure now from Vapid, and the two main championship protagonists are very likely going to be having some battles on track once again. on to lap number 19. There is going to be some pressure as Angelo comes into the pits now. On, of course, the end of lap 18, and goes on to those hard tyres. And it is going to be the DRS this time around for Vapid. Can he use it to his advantage? He's got the DRS, he's got the slipstream. Is he going to be making moves? Not this time around. Still wanting to get a bit more of a clear opportunity. But it is now pretty much nose to tail as we head down the quadruple apex right hand corner. And now on to lap number 20. We've got 9 laps to go. And what drama are we going to see here at the US Grand Prix here at the Circuit of Americas? The two championship protagonists are going to be battling it out here as WF1 Fisichella goes into pits onto some soft tyres. So may well be gunning for that fastest lap point. But Tom's had a decent first sector there, so he's made it that little bit more difficult to make the pass. As Kozlowski is slowly starting to close in on this as well. So I wonder if he will get involved at all. And we now go on board with the car of Tom, looking back towards that Mercedes of Vapid Coot. It is a 6/10 of a second gap at the moment. DRS open for Vapid Coot 74 once again. Down at the pit straight. Closes up maybe a little bit in the braking zone. But now is Tom going to have the defensive abilities to keep that Mercedes of Vapid behind him? Or is Vapid going to be able to get past his championship rival, which would level up the standings in the Drivers' Championship if that were to happen? And Tom certainly does not want that to happen, so he's going to do his best to stay in front of the Mercedes of Vapid. Again, not quite close enough to make a move following the DRS zone. And now, with what is about to be 7 laps to go just now for Lord James 22 in the lead by what is now 8.7 seconds. But what we are indeed focusing on is this battle for P2 now between the top 2 in the championship. As mentioned before, separated by only 5 points in the favour of Tom Gorian at the moment. So, Vapid, I think, is a little bit closer on this lap. So can he use that advantage, as Physical indeed does set the fastest lap on those soft tyres. But it is half a second between the top two in the championship in the battle for second place. DRS is wide open on that Mercedes. A little bit of a look has Vapid, but he's not able to make a move this time around. As Kozlesko, lurking in the background as well, might try to take any scraps that may be left. Or may also get in on the action if he can close that gap as well. But it is now nose to tail here in this battle for P2 in this race. And now 6 laps to go. Not quite a move into turn 1 there. But yeah, on to lap 23, and we have a very important battle once again in this championship fight. It is currently Tom who's got the advantage, but is he going to be able to defend that with Vapid very much within striking distance, both on the track and in the championship as well? DRS is open, he's getting closer, has a bit of a look, but again, he is biding his time, waiting potentially for an opportunity at the end, or just a better opportunity in general. But he is very much right in behind that slipstream now of that Alpine of Tom Gorian. And it is indeed 5 laps to go. As we just about see there, Lord James heading through turn 1. 10 seconds now the advantage. Vapid has a little bit of a look into turn 1. Doesn't go for the move, he gets maybe a slightly better exit out the first corner though. And they are nose to tail here. Might not be the most ideal position for Vapid to be in right behind during those fast corners, as Kozlesko now finds himself just about within that DRS zone, so he could get himself in on the action. Physical getting a 3-second time penalty, I believe, moments ago there. But now, on lap 24, are we going to see any action? We're going to see, again, a little bit of a look, but we're not going to see any overtakes following the DRS zone. We're going to go on board with Tom Gorian, and we're going to look behind at the Mercedes, and now that's McLaren of Kozlesko as well. Now 4 laps to go, and it's half a second separating the battle for second place. A little bit of weaving down the pit straight. Oh, a bit of a slide there from Vapid. Pushing as much as he can here in these closing stages of the race. But But he now does have his mirrors to watch, as Kozlowski lurks behind as well. I think this will maybe slightly help Tom in the fact that Vapid also has a car behind to worry about. But who is going to be making the moves, if anybody? Nobody again this time around. Vapid missing the apex a little bit there. He's having another bit of a slide. He is very much pushing at this stage of the race. We're going to go on board with the McLaren of Kozlowski now and see the two cars ahead. And now on to what is 3 laps to go in this US Grand Prix. It's a bit of a temptation of a look there from Vapid, but he's going to stay behind for the moment. Kozlowski also very much wanting a podium position, as he will be trying to defend the lead that he currently has in the Constructors' Championship with McLaren. But now it is going to be DRS Open once again. Tom this time feels the need to try to break the toe. He's coming under some more pressure, more than ever in this race. But not quite yet. The side-by-side action, but it's nose to tail through these slower corners here. On board here with Vapid. And now we turn the final corner to start the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix. Vapid very much in that slipstream. He has a look up the inside. Does he go for the move? He does indeed go for the move. It is side by side. Just about avoids contact. He tries to get the power down, but he's not quite been able to take the position at the moment. And Kozlowski wants to get himself in on the action as well. He is now right on the back of the Mercedes of Vapid now. So we have got a 3-way battle for P2. And now into the DRS zone. The battle intensifies that a little bit more. Kozlowski's used a lot of his DRS, but does have to go for the move. He has a look, but again he's going to now wait to what will be the final lap of the race. It is all going to come down to this here. Oh, Kozlowski maybe went for a bit of a move there. Didn't quite put off the Mercedes too much, I don't think. But Kozlowski very much thinking about that move up the inside there. As we now go on to the final lap of this US Grand Prix. Who is going to finish in what position on the podium? Vapid had a bit of a look again into turn 1, but he's going to try and save it all for the back straight. Let's see the ERSs. Vapid's got a little bit to use. Tom has a little bit less to use in the Alpine to defend with. But now, this is it here. This is going to decide the outcome of this race in terms of the top two in the championship. Tom is going to try and break that slipstream, obviously. Vapid's going to try and stay in that. Tom running out of ERS more than Vapid. It's going to be side by side into the left hand corner. Vapid's gone up the inside. Has he made a move step? But Tom's going to try and hold it around the outside. He goes off the track a little bit, but Vapid has made the move stick, has he? As they almost touch into the corner there. Vapid has taken P2. It's maybe a bit of a last dash move to maybe see if he can go up the inside again from Tom there. Vapid has taken P2 and Lord James crosses the line and he wins the US Grand Prix in all of this. A very good victory indeed there from the Haas driver, but it's round the final corner. Vapid is going to take P2. Oh, and did Tom run out of... What? Did Tom run out of fuel there? I don't know what's just happened there. But Kozlezko takes P3, and with that, Vapid now leads the championship by 3 points. Vapid now leads the championship because of that. It was going to be equal heading into the penultimate round, but due to that last minute switch, Vapid now leads the race. The championship. That is dramatic stuff here at the end of this US Grand Prix. James gets the driver of the day from the game. It was a very, in the end, comfortable victory from the Haas driver. And we're going to see him come out onto the podium to celebrate the race win. Takes the trophy. And it's going to be champagne all round here. And wow. That was an unexpected twist at the end there, which now means that Vapid leads the championship. Oh. Why does it say that Tom's in 6th? That's not right. Okay. That'll obviously be switched back. Okay. Right, so that is the conclusion here of the US Grand Prix. And yeah, it has been a pleasure to have you, Omar, in the commentary box once again here. And yeah, thank you all if you have been tuned in. And now, all that is left for me to say is thank you for watching, and it is a goodbye from me, and we will see you next week for the penultimate round of the championship when we head to the Las Vegas circuit.